your weekend?
I'm good.
That's good.
Everything's good. I was
Did you work this
excited to
weekend?
get this one. Yeah, I
I know.
worked yesterday. I worked Friday, but today I'm off, so I'm happy. I'm happy to do this. And it's a bit like
Okay.
work this, but man, it's perfect talking about soccer. It's all good, man.
Yeah, I
What you
hear you.
drinking, Eve?
I am drinking a stout, of course. I forget what
Of
it's called,
course.
but it's like a dessert stout, so it's kind of like got some chocolate infused with it, and it's
Okay.
really
Okay.
good. It kind of weirdly tastes like a little bit like Nutella,
Wow,
but it's like
that's
beer, so we love it.
okay. How much percent? These stouts are
Oh, I
like
don't.
10% sometimes. Eh?
Sometimes, yeah, I
They
don't
hit,
know. I
yeah,
didn't
they hit
look.
hard. Man.
I didn't
Okay,
look. I
you'll
should have
know
brought my
during the pod.
Canon. No, no, I picked them kind of at random.
Nah.
Yeah.
So whenever Addy, you good? Okay,
Yeah, yeah, I'm almost there,
Oh,
man.
okay.
I just
I
want to make sure that I share this to all
Mm.
the Facebook groups because it doesn't get shared automatically. So I have to do it before we really start the episode.
yeah.
If you
You
guys don't mind, but feel free,
No.
guys. Like
what
you
you
can
need
log
to
in.
do is what? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's Jean Francois Cote that says hi. So we're gonna start in a
Hi,
few
Jean
seconds.
Francois.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey Jeff, so I think we can start right away, guys. We're gonna start with
Oh,
in
yeah.
30 seconds. We're gonna wait for some people to join
Oh,
still.
I have
So
30 seconds more to do on shopping, is what you're saying.
yeah, you can. You have 30 more seconds exactly. Let's
Okay.
go.
Hello, my friends. My name is Samuel Savy, and this week on the show, we review the men national team's historic window as Qatar 2022 beckons. Rudy Camacho joins CF Montreal in Florida as the team continue its preseason, and we preview Bev Priestman's list that drops on Monday. This and a lot more on episode 67 of The Ball is Round. I'm joined as usual by Yves Paul and Hady Raphael, my good friends. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're
I'm
fine. Fine.
alive.
Alive. That's how we wanted you. It's
Yeah, that's about the best you're gonna get.
all good. It's all good. How was your week, guys?
Long.
Amazing, man. Amazing, guys. I have to tell you something. I'm finally COVID negative today.
There you
I've
Like,
go.
and
been
everyone in your family is finally?
Exactly. I've been
Oh my
confined
gosh.
since the 18th of January. I was really like going crazy. Didn't go out of my apartment since the 18th of January. So
Oh
today
man.
Um,
I finally went out. My parents are here from Lebanon. We went to Baton Rouge. So if you Baton Rouge wants to sponsor us,
the
feel free.
steakhouse?
But what did you say, Eve?
The steakhouse?
Yeah, the
Is that
Yeah,
what that
steakhouse,
is?
it's
exactly.
good.
Okay,
Yeah, so
cool.
we went there, we ate. It was really nice. My parents saw my kid. It was nice. We had fun, and then I came back. So yeah, very very happy, very excited to be alive. That's what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Eve, everything's good? Everything's okay?
Yeah, I had a long week at work, and then I had a long night last night. So it's yeah, it's kind of like the corpse of
So
Eve
Eve,
here.
I knew you would be in this state, so I prepared a little quiz because I know you love them. So we'll start off right away to
Oh my
start the episode
god,
Wow,
Sam, you
wow.
be-
treat me.
because it's episode 67. I have two little questions, and the first one is which Montreal player is the only player in the history of the club to wear number 67?
67.
And it
I-
was in 2015.
Oh shit.
They'd be like an
67.
academy player because they often end up with those crazy high numbers. Who came out of the academy in around 2015?
Wasn't it? No, I think it was international player. Wasn't it like Bakary Soumaré or something like that? Or
No,
He
No.
was.
Soumare had a smaller number, I remember, but no.
Yeah, he had a
60
5, I think, at one point. But
Yeah.
67.
Oh, man.
Mamadou Danso had 98, but we're not there yet, so we're still at 67.
1960.
I'm gonna guess like I don't know, like Dilly Duca. I don't know.
No, dude, Duca. No,
He had like
Duca
I know
was
he had
so
like a
important.
standard number.
Exactly.
So
So guys, I want to hear by our listeners. If you guys are viewers, I should say, if you guys have an idea, just throw it out there. We're like, you can be better than us, guys, and don't Google. Do not cheat. Do not
Okay,
cheat.
so while people look for their answers, I'll ask my second question.
Go ahead.
Which current player wore number 67 at one of his previous clubs?
Oh man.
And it was in Europe. It was in Europe. So
in Europe.
that can
Okay,
help a
thank
lot.
you.
In Europe, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not good with jersey numbers, man.
I gotta
So
say
I'll give you
what
15-second, guys, and I'll give
Okay.
you
Okay. I would say Corbo.
and I am gonna say Lassie.
No. So the answer for the first question was David Chouanière.
Oh,
67? But Eve was right. She said an academy player.
Yeah.
Back then he was an academy
I
player.
couldn't think of who came out of the academy in 2015.
And number 67. No, not Baldur. Sorry, man.
Oh god.
A current player who wore number 67 in Europe was Victor Wanyama in Scotland when he was playing for Celtic.
Oh
my
wow.
god.
Okay, good to know.
Go figure.
Good to know.
So there you go, guys. So we'll start the show with the men national team, I guess, right?
Yeah, we should.
Yes.
We have to.
They are the story of the
guys.
hour.
Incredible. We clinch at minimum a playoff berth, but really we have a foot and a half in Qatar, right? So, I mean, let's start with the game in San Salvador. This game almost didn't happen. We remember that little saga that we had before the game. How did you feel, guys, a couple of hours leading to the game, knowing that we might win by forfeit?
I mean, I was saddened for the federation, the El Salvador Federation, that it's come to that their players, need to feel that the only way they're going to get important change made is to take kind of some sort of dramatic stand. So I feel really bad for them in that regard. I didn't have a lot of feeling. Like if the game had been canceled, I would have been okay with it. For the sake of, the safety of the players. And this was a super grueling window, as we saw from poor John Herdman after. Oh my God. I think like I might be having John Herdman vibes today. But yeah. So for me, really, I just kind of felt more for the El Salvadoran players, honestly.
You're too nice. You're too nice.
Oh no!
You're just like for once you're too nice. No, but like for me, I was like, it's CONCACAF all over again, man. It's like
it was very CONCACAF.
Every time we think that we're getting a bit more professional, that the confederation is starting to grow and drawing interest and becoming a bit better, a bit more professional, they just come with a new way of just humiliating us. Like it's crazy. We're like, people are trying to really get to know CONCACAF region because of the powerhouses, the usual powerhouses like USA and Mexico, and now Canada as a growing powerhouse. And you get those kinds of comments and you get those kinds of things that happen, and it hurts us. It hurts us so much. But you know what? At the end, we played the game, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it. Yeah, for people who were living underground, we won. So, so you know what? Whatever. Just throw whatever you want to throw at us. We're still going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we no CF Montreal players started that game against Salvador
No.
because John Herdman decided to go with a back four of Adekugbe, Kennedy, Henry, and Larea. In midfield, we had finally the duo of Eustachio and Atiba together, and the four other players that were on the field, outfield players, because we know Borjan was starting. Obviously, were Harlett, Osorio Miller, and Jonathan David. So it was a pretty different side than the one that faced the US. When you guys saw the lineup, what was your first reaction?
I wasn't very surprised to see a lot of rotation myself, because there wasn't as much rotation in between the first two matches, and this was the third of a 3-game window, and Canada had kind of definitely, I think, gotten the job done across those first two matches. So I was really, really unsurprised to see some players who hadn't been seen yet.
I was surprised. You're going in a 3-match window. That's unusual, right? Because usually it's 2 matches in an international window. You're going in a 3-match window, and I'm pretty sure that you want to win them all. You want to win all 3 matches, so you want to make sure that you get your best players, because it's showtime now, right? Like it's
Yeah,
you're down the stretch, right? You need those points.
They're on
right?
the bench, like they're there if you need them.
True, but I was surprised. Now we still have some good players on our.
I was about to say,
right?
Yeah.
Steven Eustachio was out there starting finally.
I understand, but Steven Eustachio was diminished, and it showed in the first half.
Yeah,
really
I agree.
So,
I agree.
So you know what? I was a bit surprised, but at the end of the day, I was like, okay, you know what? Out of the 3 matches that we had, it's supposed to be the easiest one, even if people are going to tell me, Honduras is at the bottom of the table, but we had a psychological problem against Honduras, so it was a bit different, going into that game. But the problem was, I was afraid that we were going to get bitten, sorry, but we didn't. We didn't, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy because John Herdman tried something and it worked, and I think everybody had a very decent game. Decent game. I didn't say awesome game. I said decent game.
Okay.
But I think that's exactly what we needed. We needed 3 points out of that game, or at least 1 point. We got 3, and you know what? 9 points out of 9. What do you want more?
We'll get back to this because we had predictions for this window, and we don't look really good now, but we'll get back to it. But if you wanted to refute a bit what Hady was saying, what was your idea of what was your feeling, general performance of the team, and did someone stand out positively or negatively for you?
So I think for me, Liam Miller is a player who's been really, really interesting. He's been really dynamic, really impactful with FC Basel in the Swiss Super League. And I kind of felt like it was very much almost like one of his very first matches with the Canadian men's national team, if that makes any sense. I felt like he was probably a little bit more hesitant, and I can't help but wonder if he might have some regrets left after that game. He didn't necessarily take some of the risks that I've seen. I've only managed to catch him, unfortunately, in some European type competitions that I can get access to. So I can't see everything, unfortunately. But he was kind of one who I wish I had seen a little bit more out of him.
Okay.
And Danielle Henry, unfortunately, I'm so sorry. Your summer of redemption has come and gone. I love you, but
he got his yellow card, yeah, for sure. But I
think he's suspended now.
Yeah, he didn't play a bad game, Henry. He's in what he's able to do. I think he respects a lot his limits, and he did well within his limits. And for sure, I think I was listening to our guest that we had 2 weeks ago, Alex Gangiruzic. He had
Hmm.
a space just before the game. He was talking about Donil Henry, and he opened my eyes a lot on some of the stuff that Donil Henry can do well and
Hmm.
why he would probably be chosen for the game. And
Hmm.
he was right; he was chosen for the game. He is very good when we keep the play in front of us. When he has to
Hmm.
chase after players, not so
Oh
much.
yeah.
But Canada had the game plan of dropping a bit lower and keep the play in front of them, and Donny Henry did pretty well in these circumstances. So I wasn't disappointed about his performance, and I really like Scott Kennedy too. Both center backs had pretty solid games,
Hmm.
and you didn't concede a goal, right? You barely gave a
Yeah.
chance away. So I mean, what can you say towards these players? They did their job, right?
Exactly. No, you know, they had the police there in riot gear. The stadium still had a really electric feel despite the turbulence earlier on in the day. Um, so I mean, props to El Salvador for showing up, and I think they definitely gave Canada a strong match.
Yeah.
Grain of salt given that it was a rotated side, but overall, like they did still have plenty of chances. Notably, when Canada gave away, I think, a few ill-advised fouls.
Yeah.
But so be it.
It was a very cagey physical affair at the start,
Hmm.
and the first half kind of left us wondering, if Canada could have done more. But Hady, when John Herdman made the changes, it was a two-part change, right? There were three players in and off, but most importantly, a tactical change. And when this happened, do you think this is when the game turned on its head completely?
Uh, I kind of think so because I think in the first half, like Canada was trying, but was trying to be good and to create chances and everything. It was a bit shaky.
Hmm.
We weren't really, you know, very dangerous in the first half. Yes, we had a couple of chances, but we weren't very dangerous. And yes, when the changes were done, that's when we started getting better. Tejan Buchanan coming in, Kyle Larin coming in, Alistair Johnston coming in, and he had a great second, like 30 to 35 minutes when he went on the pitch. So you see that we need those regular starters in order to
Yeah.
win those away games. We need them. It's not, yeah, of course we can get away with a draw. And you know what? I'm pretty sure if we got a draw from the away game in San Salvador, we would have been happy because 7 points out of 9 would have been really, really, really good. Uh, but you know what? We needed those changes, and I think that those changes really made a difference. Now Buchanan wasn't really that awesome. He
Yeah.
did well. He
Hmm.
could have he could have given them a penalty or two. Um, but uh, but yeah, I kind of think that yeah, we needed those changes. We needed Kyle Larin. Kyle
Yeah.
Larin
Oh
has
yeah.
become so important for that team.
Very. Yeah.
So important.
Do you remember, like, 4 or 5 years ago? We talk about Kyle Larin, and Kyle Larin at the time would have been playing in MLS, and he was banging them in for Orlando City. But you put Kyle Larin in the red jersey, and it would not come off. Like, he missed so many sitters, from inside the 6 yard box. He could not score a goal for Canada to save his life. Like, his trajectory has just been mind blowing.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
reading some of the tweets from back then, and
Oh no.
don't forget that he had some alcohol problems at one
Yeah,
point, right?
DUI, I think, right?
So yeah,
Yes.
he had a DUI, and it wasn't really going well for him. So he turned his life around, right? He turned his career around. He became Canada's best goal scorer
It's amazing.
ever.
It's
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're that good now. So don't waste it anymore. And he
Hmm.
realized that. And Besiktas helped him realize that because it's the first club that really made it happen for him. And is it because of Atiba Hutchinson? My 2 cents on that is yes. It's I'm pretty sure it's Atiba's professionalism and amazing human values that made him who he is right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's everything you're looking for in a leader, and in
Mm-hmm.
this very tough game away in San Salvador, I mean, he found a way to put the ball in the back of the net, and it's
He
amazing
ran
when.
away.
Listen, it's one of the flukiest goals I've ever seen. But sometimes you need these goals, and I mean, you could have bet it would have been Hutchinson if you were to
Mm.
score one of these bizarre fluky goals. And it took a lot of courage to put his head where he did, because the defender's
The
boot was flying very close.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was a tough low cross that came in, and he had
Mm-hmm.
the courage to put his head there. And didn't score with it. Well, he did finally score with his head, but
Mm-hmm.
with the help of almost all of his body afterwards. But yeah,
Yeah.
great, great goal. Great performance by the captain.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's amazing to think that this man is almost 39, man.
I know.
Yeah, I love
Jean-François
the
says,
comment.
yeah, go
I
ahead.
love the comment from Jean-François Cote that says a
Um,
Baloo that turned the table around. You know what? Baloo is,
Yeah, for Kyle Laren, yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
we're talking about Kyle Aaron, that Baloo was, yeah, but is he going to be able to turn the things around? He still have time. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already said it, I think, a million times here on The Ball Is Round. I don't believe he can.
No.
I mean, a lot
But
of
we'll
people
see.
had given
Well,
up
can
on
versus
Laren, right?
will.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but Laren went to Europe, man.
And funnily
And
enough,
he stayed in Europe, which
Yeah.
Baloo wasn't able to do, right? He
Mhm.
wasn't able to even stay in a second division in Spain.
Mhm.
Which is completely different than Laren going into first division, staying, and then getting better, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, he was still doing some things right, Laren, to keep his job in first divisions and in Europe altogether, and not coming back here, which is not the case for Baloo. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
take too much time on Baloo,
No,
because
no,
this
No.
is the
I'm
Canadian
ready.
national team
Yep.
segment.
no, but it's a nice redemption story for Laren, and it's great to see that
Mhm.
his career has finally taken off. And that's why I think it's a bit of a stretch. People that completely chalk off very young players, and you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have some bad days, but like you say, you need a mentor, and I'm pretty sure that Atiba Hutchinson was exactly what Kyle Laren needed. So good for them. Just guys, I was surprised to see Zachary Bourguillard get 10-ish minutes at the
Yeah.
end. What
It
did
was
you think of his performance? He
well,
did
it
pretty well,
was
I think.
surprising that he ended up there in the first place, because I think
Yes,
it was
exactly.
basically day of he got there.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. In general, it kind of surprised me as a call, because Canada already had Tajon Buchanan, who could theoretically fill in at a right back or right wing back. Obviously, Rich Chilarea. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see him get a late call, and then that late call actually became minutes. So I feel like John Herdman must have felt something or seen something that made him think specifically of ZBG.
Yeah,
It
you
seemed
know
very
what?
specific.
Yeah, but it's funny, because I think last week we
Or 2
talked
weeks
about
ago.
that,
And
or
you
2 weeks ago,
said,
and I said that I don't see ZBG going back into the national team fold. And you know what? I was wrong, and it's okay. I'm happy for him. I'm really happy
yeah,
for him. I'm happy for him to get minutes.
yes.
I still think that he's a fringe player of the squad. I'm pretty sure that he's not a player that's gonna be in the squad every time. And it all depends on his performances. He's still on the fence. He's still on.
yeah,
Will
exactly.
he be
Yeah.
good enough, or will he be too bad to be in the squad? So, you know what? I'm happy that John Herdman is showing him some signs, saying that, you know what, I'm still thinking about you, and I'm gonna give you this a reward by giving you a few minutes, during that game.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs to step up, man. He needs to step
Okay.
up. We need more.
We're in between seasons right now. So for me, his cameo, we'll call it that, was effective. I feel like he probably did exactly what John Herdman had asked him to do. He shored up the right side of the field, and he had a couple of interesting dribbles down the field and didn't get caught wildly out of position or anything. So I'm open-minded. I'm open-minded to see what he brings to Montreal, and conversely, possibly Canada.
Listen, I think the way John Herdman approached this is, he's giving every chance for Bourguignard to kind of lose his place in the full squad. I don't think he's gonna be a starter, like considered to be a starter, but he could definitely be in the squad for the World Cup. But just to remember, maybe 2-3 years ago, he was almost a lock at right back for Canada and kind of slid down the pecking order.
Yeah.
So I think John Herdman has the respect to just give him a chance to redeem himself a bit and maybe make the squad for Qatar. But like this at the moment, he's really on the fence to be in the squad. So I think this season, it's all good for Montreal in a sense, because this season he has to prove himself not only to Wilfried Nancy, to Olivier Renard, but to John Herdman too.
Yeah.
So
because clearly John Herdman still very much has his eye on him.
Exactly.
Evidently.
So imagine how Zachary Bourguignard is preparing for this
that
season.
Motivation.
Man, I have to go all in every single time I'm on the pitch.
Yeah.
So it's all good for every of our teams,
But and what's nice also is that John Herdman is showing that he doesn't have a lot of experience, coaching men. And we know all that, right?
Yeah.
But he's showing his experience as a coach, as a national team coach. Because when you're preparing for a World Cup, you all know that usually during the World Cup you have a 23-player squad, right? But sometimes during the World Cup, some players are injured. So when during qualifications you have a group of 30 players, you're sure that in case you do have a lot of injuries, you have some players that have been in the squad that know what it is, know the tactics, know everything. So Zachary Bourguignard is that kind of insurance money for John Herdman, down the stretch, right? So I like that. I just still think that Zachary Bourguignard needs to step up, needs to be better in order to secure a definite spot within the Canadian national team, because the Canadian national team now is not the Canadian national team we've seen in the past 100 years.
Oh no.
We are a force.
We're legit, like we call it,
with, right? What?
Yeah, I say we're legit.
We're legit.
That's the whole
Canada's
point of our
legit. Exactly. The title of our pod. Right? Yeah. So we're not yet the powerhouse. We're not there yet, but we're on the way to become some sort of a powerhouse, at least in the CONCACAF region. So we're good. We need to step up and to make sure we have consistency in our results, in a few years. But Zachary Bourguignard needs to get to that level of play on a consistent basis. So let's hope that it does happen. I just want to talk, if you don't mind, because Eve said something a bit earlier about Liam Miller. And I don't like the Liam Miller bashing, because I've seen
I'm not bashing
not yours. No, not yours, because I've read so many people
it's been
really going hard on him. And you know what, guys? He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
He's only like maybe the fourth or the fifth winger in the Canadian national team. He's not a starter. He's not yet a starter. He could develop into a very, very good player and maybe a starter in the future. Yes, okay, he didn't have a good game. He tried some stuff. It didn't happen for him. It didn't work for him. But that doesn't mean that that's it. He's not a good player anymore. He plays in one of the biggest clubs in Europe, in Switzerland, in Basel. Basel is not a small club, guys. It's one of the best clubs in Switzerland, maybe the best club in Switzerland right now. So I just want, not Eve, I'm not talking to you.
Okay, I was like, I thought I was giving an honest assessment.
No, because it's the general point of view on social media saying that Miller was not good at all.
Well, he scored a goal yesterday or today. He scored a goal this week.
I don't think he was that bad. That's he tried to dribble. It didn't work a few times. That was his role. Yeah, okay, dribbling didn't work, but he wasn't that awful. He was just not awesome. Yeah. But yeah, so I just want to make sure that we know that we have a good player in our squad in Liam Miller.
Yes.
most
No,
definitely.
I don't. If people are writing him off after that, then
Yeah.
they are throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
So I never heard
True.
that one, but okay, I like it.
Oh, okay.
It exists in French, by the way, Sam.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
heard it.
There learned.
Guys, all in all, how surprised are you that we picked up 9 points in this window? It's amazing. And like now, guys, it's time to look away because we had made our predictions before the start of the window. Hady, you had predicted 4 points.
I didn't predict. I said I would be satisfied with 4 points. It's very different.
Okay.
I didn't predict 4 points. I said I would be satisfied with 4 points.
Yeah.
And you know what? Whatever. I'm super happy.
Yeah.
Still.
Well, you can't
I
get
had
much
5.
happier.
I had 5.
And I said
I
6.
had and you had 6. So somewhere we had all predicted. Well,
there would be a
for
loss.
me because I had a win and 2 draws, but you two had predicted a loss for the team.
Yeah.
In some way. Didn't happen.
No.
Didn't even come close to happening. So it's amazing.
Didn't even concede a goal.
Yeah. So my question is, to who do you attribute? I know it's easy to like point one thing in particular, but if you had to choose one aspect in particular, is it the coach, is it a player, is it the goalie, whatever, that gave us this amazing result? So we started without Alphonso Davies, of course, with his myocarditis.
Yeah.
Eustachio ruled out for 2 games because of COVID. Vitoria suspended for the Salvador game. Atiba suspended for the USA game. And still, all of this, we pick up 9 points.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's the coaching, because the coaching is what creates the environment around the team, and it creates the ambiance and the kinship between the team. And I think you see this significantly more with Canada than with, several of the other large nations in CONCACAF right now. Like, you really, really feel that for Canada, the players would actively die on the field for each other. Like, we don't hope it will come to that ever, certainly. But like for Canada, you feel that they are almost in a hive mind. Like, they are all thinking the same thought at once. And that's got to come from the coaching side of things. So I'm going to attribute these 9 points to the coaching, because there were changes that had to be made to the squad, but Canada was able to see out 3 massive results despite those changes needing to be imposed.
Yeah, everybody's talking about the atmosphere that John Herdman has created, and you know what? He's a leader of men. That's how we call him usually. He's a leader. He's
like a player's coach, I think.
Yeah, exactly. He's very charismatic. He's someone that knows how to create an atmosphere. But I agree with Eve, but I want to add an extra thing. I think that John Herdman grew as a national team coach.
I agree.
He learned so much. And you know what? When I went to his presser after that game, he said something that really, I reminded me how much he grew. Because when he lost against Hady in the Gold Cup 2019, I think one media, I don't remember who it was, said that it was the worst game and the worst memory in Canadian soccer history.
Bro! There was somebody who was clearly new to the party.
But no, 1 second, Eve. He quoted that. He quoted that. So that means that this hurt him a lot, right?
Yeah.
This is something that he took to heart. And you know what? He grew from it. He learned stuff. We saw, you remember, guys, maybe a year ago, we were a bit laughing at him because his tactical genius and masterclass was just moving Alphonso Davies around from one side of the field to the other, right? Yeah. And we were like, man, like just do something else. Alphonso Davies is great, but like you have 11 players on the pitch. And you know what? Now you see how much John Herdman is growing as a national team coach, playing without Davies, and like you said, Sam, without all those missing players, and still getting results, and not getting results against the same kind of teams, these island teams that have no real good footballers that you're playing against. No,
Well,
you're
there's
playing
semi-pro sides half the
Yeah,
time.
some are not even
exactly.
pros, right?
Exactly. So you're playing against teams that are very different, each one from the other, and you're still managing to win games away from home. And that's what's really nice about John Herdman, and that's really nice what John Herdman is doing. It shows his growth, and I want to point that out because all the John Herdman haters, and there are a lot of them out there, are now completely quiet. Quiet, and it's just cracked me up.
Yeah. There's one thing, to go back to my question, you guys talked a lot about Herdman, and Chan is absolutely right. Chapeau to the coaching staff, 100%. But I think that what we saw, a very important piece to this team, is the leadership group, the Boryans, the Atiba, Kyle Larin, these players in which, they, yes, the coach is gonna give his mentality, is gonna give the guidelines, gonna the system, but now you need your leadership group to adhere to the coach and to push it on to the players that are looking up to them. And I think the leadership group in this team is amazing. And we have some very young leaders in the team.
Yeah.
Most players are in their 20s, but acting like full-time pros for 10, 12 years. You look at Kamal Miller, for example. You look like Stefan Estacio. These guys don't look like their age. They're the way they handle themselves on the pitch, the way they approach adversity is really something of matured pros. And I think the fact that they all buy into John Herdman's system, it's amazing. But if these guys didn't have the right approach when John Herdman started with them, and you said it was difficult at the start for Herdman, if we see those things, these players who have to go train with him and sit in meetings with him all week, they see the same things. They even see other stuff that we don't see ourselves. But they had faith in him, and they really had the right mentality. So yes, Herdman, fantastic. I love him, and I wasn't one of those who was a huge fan of him before. I love him now, but I mean the leadership group of this team is really the driving force, I think, right now, and it's amazing.
I just want to add something, because in the presser, that was one of the questions about what Borjan and Atiba went through to be able to be able to.
I'm so sorry, I had to get it in there at some point.
No, but seriously, like what they had to go through in order to achieve success, and the success that they're having right now. I love the answer of John Herdman. He said it's a privilege to be a part of this process. He said, and it's very weird because those two players are very different. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So Atiba is very calm. He's wise. He's the leader, the quiet leaders kind of guy. And Borjan is like very excited, very party guy, always yelling and shouting and everything. And they get along very, very well. And you see that togetherness in that group. They call themselves the Brotherhood. And I like that. I like that because they create, the coaching staff and the players all together created that atmosphere around the national team. And it's amazing to see. And yes, the performances have been nothing short than spectacular in most of the times, in most of the games.
The results have been spectacular. I would say sometimes the look of it hasn't been fantastic.
Yeah, but the results itself, yeah, right.
Yeah, the result is
we're unbeaten, Eve. Unbeaten.
I know. I'm just saying aesthetically.
What do you want more, man? What do you want more? You want 14 wins in order to just say spectacular?
No, but
I mean how it looks on the pitch. How it looks on the pitch for the 90 minutes. It hasn't always
justifies the mean.
Oh yeah, completely. No, I totally agree with you.
But I'm telling you guys, Yves is the perfect early 2000s, late 90s coach. You win 10-0, guys. Next time it's 15-0.
Yeah, exactly. She reminds me of my mother, man. I used to get a great grade, like A on a test, and she would say, "Why not A+?"
Oh, see, and I would do that to myself. I would get an A, and I'd be like, "Well, why wasn't it an A+?"
It's
So
sometimes it's good to
Seb
give
is right.
yourself a
Seb
pat on
is
the
yeah.
right.
back.
No, and Seb is right. And Borjan looked fantastic
Yeah,
doing it in
he
one of
did.
those
Just for people
matches.
who are listening, who don't see
I want the
who don't have the
pants.
video, Borjan Sébastien Grenier says Borjan made crucial saves in 2 of these games. Yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
Yes.
Crucial.
But
And
every
yeah.
player had a thing to say. But go ahead, Eve.
Yeah.
You wanted to add a
No.
comment.
Oh, it was just about what a fashion icon he also was, because I will not stop beating this drum. And like so I actually put out the conspiracy theory this past week when Tristan D'Amour had tweeted something, and my official conspiracy theory about Borjan's fashion is that Canada Soccer didn't realize how cold it was going to be in Edmonton, and basically they made a last minute run to Sport Check. And they grabbed a pair of sweatpants, like a pair of Nike sweatpants off the rack, and hastily ironed on like the Canada crest and the number 18. So that's my new conspiracy theory for everybody wondering what's up with Borjan's pants. And if Canada Soccer could just give me the SKU of the freaking pants so I could go buy them, please.
We'll
Oh,
tag
I'm really
Canada
sorry,
Soccer.
Sebastian.
They'll
I
listen
know
to
that
us.
I completely agree with you about the fantastic saves, from McKenny's header to the saves really on each side versus Honduras and stuff. Completely agree with you. And I'm really sorry that I hijacked your comment to make it about the pants. The end.
Yeah, you have to get used to Eve. It's either talking about Borjan pants or just being pessimistic and calling things like not so good. It's not spectacular. We
Actually,
need
my
more.
beer is spectacular. I'm not gonna lie. This beer is spectacular.
Good. At least
I
something
doubt
is.
he's gonna wear them in Qatar because I think the temperature is a bit too high for
Oh,
the
but
sweatpants. But
that's gonna be air conditioning. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's gonna be AC in the stadium. So maybe he will.
Maybe. Guys, we'll move on to Montreal.
Yes.
This week we had, unless you guys had something else to add with the national team.
No.
No, I
Pretty
think we
much
said
done.
it all, right?
Okay.
Show me the
Okay.
pants.
Cool. We'll move on to Montreal. After rumors that intensified by the day, it was announced this week that Rudy Camacho has rejoined our team on a 2-year deal after he had officially cut ties with the club back in November. Rudy is back. Guys, I was one of the very sad guys when Rudy was leaving, and I would have liked that the club prolonged his association back in November, and I was like, shit, what we're gonna do at center back with that system, everything. Now, I saw a lot of people on my opinion back in November. Now it's very half and half. There's a lot of people that are not that pleased that Rudy is back, and I'm not sure why, guys. What happened this off season for people to kind of be a bit disappointed with that move?
Well, one of the things that comes to my mind is obviously it is well known that Montreal offered Rudy the chance to stay. And they made him an offer that he and his entourage deemed was not sufficient. So I think probably that might have perhaps cooled some of the affections that some of the Montreal fans had, because they kind of felt that maybe he was a little bit too big for his britches. And as well, there was speculation that he might be going to certain other MLS teams and looking for a spot with them, which of course will never win you any points in a Montrealer's eyes. But as well, there are a lot of really exciting young players coming up with the squad. Like, we want to make sure Karifa Yao gets a fair look in. And Gabriele Corbo, I'm not exactly sure what he's going to do here now, but nonetheless, Gabriele Corbo is there, and part of the youth movement means that the youth have to play. That's my thought.
That will make Hady happy. Hady, what's your take on it?
Yeah, you all know my take, guys. You play the youth, listen, you all know, guys. I'm not a fan of comebacks, right? Now he didn't really leave.
I was about to say,
it
does it count?
True, but I can't really get excited about a
No.
signing like Rudy Camacho. So I kind of understand why people are not mad, but not very happy because they needed more. They need that player that's gonna make them,
Jump
believe
out of
that we
their
can do
seats.
something better, right? Yes, of course, everybody needs a superstar for sure. Like,
Mhm.
but even if like just getting a striker, getting a midfielder to score goals, it excites people. And getting another center back that we've already seen in the last 4 years, it's not
Yeah.
really something that's gonna make me jump
No.
from my seat and be
Like,
you know
like,
what, we did it, so
I mean, no, go ahead. Finish your thought.
no, that's it. Like,
Okay.
for me, it's not. I understand why people are not very excited about it, but it's still a very good signing. Like,
Yeah.
we're keeping our general, our
Hmm.
defense general, right? So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
No, for me, like if the back line is Kamal Miller, Rudy Camacho, Alistair Johnston, that's a phenomenal back line for MLS should
Yeah,
Rudy Camacho show up at the level he played last year. Because of course we do have to ask the question because we got 4 years of Rudy Camacho and really only one of them was phenomenal. Or spectacular, if you will, Hady. Um, so there is as well like that kind of aspect. I think of Rudy Camacho is we have the memory of 3 of those 4 years that kind of haunt us, right, in
Oh.
Montreal. And it was great last season, but at the same time, unfortunately, Rudy Camacho was paid a similar salary for all 4 of his seasons here, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
yeah.
So,
I
guys,
just I just want to, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
Sam, because
yeah,
we
sure,
have a
sure, Hady,
comment
sure.
from Chan. People are
and this
upset
is a
because
good point.
by signing Camacho, it basically means no more money for a new attacking player. I'm gonna answer you, Chan, with a comment from another one of our viewers that says, "I still think this year Johnson will raise his level," and that's Silva
Well,
Wow.
Felipe. You know what?
raise.
Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen, but maybe. But I'm gonna be a bit more
I'm like,
less dreamful. Let's use it. Let's say it that way.
oh no,
Uh,
not optimistic, Hattie.
Not optimistic. I'm just being realistic. Okay.
Okay.
How can you get a new attacking player with so many attacking players already in the squad? It's
Well,
impossible. You have too many attacking players in the squad right now. You have Sunusi, you have Torres, you have Lassi, you have Kyoto, and you have Toy. Those players are in the squad. I understand that Toy is injured, but you have 30 roster places. Like, in order to get another attacking player in our 3-5-2, 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it, you have to make sure that one of those players leave in order to sign a new attacking player, because you cannot get players and just put them on the bench and just hoping that they're not going to create chaos in a dressing room, because players that do not play, that are international players, are veteran players, are going to create some sort of, are going to be unhappy in a dressing room, and it's going to create a bad atmosphere. So in order to get a new attacking piece, we have to make room. And right now, we're not able to make room. Wilfried Nancy said it again in his presser, and we talked about it last week with Sam when he asked us the question. He hinted another, I think it's twice in a row now, he hinted that Bjorn Janssen, if he stays.
Yeah.
So
Very unclear, eh?
it's very unclear, but it seems that we're trying to
well,
get rid of one attacking piece in order to add one. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, they brought poor Bjorn to Miami, so I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But I do feel really bad for Bjorn. I do, like, his confidence must just be in the toilet.
Yeah.
And hopefully, this season will be the season, because unfortunately we already saw that the new signings of Mason Toy, he unfortunately is already injured.
Yeah. That's what he
And
said.
hopefully he comes back. I did not forget. I will not forget. I must be
Yeah.
Quebecois by now, because I will not forget.
Jamais souillé.
Exactly. And then Kyoto, we know we're going to lose Kyoto a lot, because he'll get called up for Honduras. Even though obviously their qualification campaign has come to an end, I think he is still a super duper important part of their roster. But yeah, I agree with you, Hattie, completely. it would
You
be exciting if we could get rid of one attacking piece for
No
another.
choice. No choice. It's when you build a roster, you build it with players in each positions. So
Yeah.
you can't have 10 attacking pieces in your roster because you need
Nope.
to cover other positions, right? It's as simple as that. Are they good enough? And no, and I agree with you. We don't have enough attacking power. I completely agree with you. I have other people commenting on what I said, and it's okay. It's just a matter of math, a matter of roster building.
Mhm.
It's not a matter of quality. Yes, we need more quality. In order to bring more quality, we need to get rid of some of the players because we have too many attacking players that are
Not living
obviously
up.
not living up, average, some of them good, but most of them average. Maybe Kyoto is good, Toy is good when he's not injured, and the rest is kind of like, even for me, Torres is average, is not good.
Mhm.
So,
But
yeah.
guys, so all of this, you kind of now I need
It's okay,
a
Sam. You can
word,
go ahead.
one word.
Please.
I wrote down good news or bad news. Camacho back.
I'm gonna call it good news.
Good.
Oh, wow. No, I would say good news too.
Good news.
Yep. And you know what?
I-
I think he was really. I'm so sorry, Sam. I jumped in
No,
over
go
you.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was
no
gonna
problem.
say I think he was really well liked within the squad as well
Of
because
course.
last season, I forget exactly, he had posted something. It must have been like maybe right after they won the Canadian Championship. And you could see so many of the players like were commenting sign, or like love
Yeah.
you and stay and so on. So and it was kind of made me think of like that sad moment with Maxi Arudi and Nacho Piatti. He was like begging him to stay, and that failed. So anyway. I think he must be really well liked within the squad, which it can only be a good thing. Yes, for once I'm positive, and it's a miracle. Thank you for calling it out, Chan. But no, for me, it's important that you have a good chemistry within the squad. So if he's well liked by the players who are there, then I'm all for it.
The thing that, of course, people will think about is, we have a lot of young center backs coming up. So my question is, how does this affect the development of the youngsters coming up? So the Watermans, the Yao, the Corbo. I could even put in Kishan Ferdinand, who's an out and out, maybe more of a right back, but can play center back too. How do you see Camacho coming back versus their progression at the moment?
Yves said something a bit earlier, and yeah, you look at the squad right now. You have, as center backs, you have Miller,
Oh my God.
Camacho, Corbo, Torkelson,
I forgot about Turkelson.
Yes.
Waterman. So many players, and but Yao doesn't have a place anymore.
No, I know.
He doesn't have a place anymore. Kishan Ferdinand, he can play as a fullback, but he cannot play as a wingback. So you're playing in that system. Now, with Renasi said that we might play in a different system and we might use different tactics throughout the years. So at that point, yeah, maybe we can play with this. But still, like, where are you going to find minutes to play those young players? You're not going to find. You're going to have to loan Kari Fayao again. You're going to loan him again in CanPL, where he was one of the best defenders in the league. How much will that? Like, he needs to play at a higher level because
No, I mean, it doesn't happen often, but intra MLS loans do happen. It happened to Liam Fraser last year.
Who's going to play?
Yeah,
who's
if you loan him out west,
I know.
maybe
international place for Yao.
Right, international. Well, no, Liam Fraser would have been an international place too, no?
Yeah, he was.
No, wait, homegrown player.
Yeah, by homegrown. Yeah, maybe.
I think he'd be exempt.
I'm not sure.
Think.
You know what I think of this. This situation. Center back is such a cerebral position and such a difficult position to learn when you're young. I think it's okay if the youngsters have some time in maybe the CPL or other leagues to really perfect their game, because we've seen a lot of young center backs maybe thrown into big games, big competitions too young, and they look it's not a question of talent. It's not a question of tackling. It's a question of feeling the game that they don't have yet, and they didn't look great, and it can affect your confidence because it it's such yeah, like I said, cerebral position. You're always thinking, should we go up? Should I man mark? Should I go zone? There's so many things that is going through your mind when you're playing at this position. I think you need to be a bit more seasoned, maybe to particularly in that center of the back three position that Camacho had. So as much as I would have loved to see maybe Waterman or maybe Yao in this position at the start of the year, I think it's okay if Camacho comes back and these players maybe get cup games, get lower league games, and
But
really come
but you
back
still have a
ready.
roster building thing, right? You have 30 places. That's the problem that I have. I agree with you. You know what? You're completely right, Sam. You're completely right. If we were in Europe, where you weren't tied by that roster build, even if in some leagues you are tied by some rules. But like, if you look at, I'm going to talk about France because that's what I know, right? If you look at France, yes, you have, a defined number of players that you can play within a season, but all the homegrowns and the academy players do not count in a roster buildup, and that helps teams playing their youth players, right? Whenever they deserve minutes. It's not the same in MLS. It's not the same in MLS. So you have to be in the 30-man squad. So when are they going to get minutes if they are outside of the 30-man squad? They're just going to have minutes in the Canadian Championship. That's it. And the Canadian Championship, we all know it's 3 games for the whole year.
It's such a short competition. Yep. Exactly. You don't have the time really to, like, when at the start of last season, when Wilfred Nancy said that Breza would get the Canadian Championship, the first thing I thought was, if we lose our first game, Breza gets 1 game all year. It's not enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely the setup here is not ideal, but I don't think it's ideal either to throw them in there and
like sink or swim.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
But you know what? Having Yao as a backup to Liam Miller, for me, it's okay. Sorry for Kamal Miller.
Like...
sorry.
Kamal Miller.
Yeah, Kamal Miller. Yeah, sorry about that. For being the backup to Kamal Miller, Kamal Miller is going to play most of the games during the year, right? So being a backup, he's going to be able to play at least 10 games within the year. So 10 games is awesome for a young player like Arif Yao. But now he's like third string because you have Thorkelson, that's an international player that you have to play those 10 games. You have to play him. You don't have a choice.
Corbo too.
Corbo is here. Waterman is here. Of course, he's very good for to play again at the place of Allison Johnston.
There is also the U23, which will be playing in PLSQ.
Yeah, but no, I'm sorry.
But I know I'm just saying. I'm like, farm some people out there.
But
like, are you really sorry, Sam, but are you really comparing Yao playing in a CPL to Yao playing in a PLSQ?
No. And like, not to denigrate the PLSQ.
He's getting downgraded, right? Like,
no, but like,
U23.
Well, what about Thorkelson? He hasn't played like in 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah, played Thorkelson in the PLSQ, but Thorkelson is international player.
Yeah,
like you're wasting an international place to play in the U20 in the U23 in the PLSQ. That's a bit sad.
He's got easier.
I just want a chance that I still don't understand why we signed Thorkelson. I kind of do, because he's the replacement of Kamal Miller if ever Kamal Miller is supposed to leave. But we have Arif Yao. Now maybe Renard wasn't really high on Arif Yao and he surprised him last year. So I don't know. We'll see.
But then by that point, like, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because they're similar ages.
Yeah, true. Exactly. But this conversation on Arif Yao kind of brings us to our next point. It's the game against Inter Miami, the preseason game. Mm-hmm. Once again, Arif Yao given more minutes than everyone. Wilfred Nancy is really loading Yao on minutes, and I think that kind of says something. I think Wilfred Nancy wants to give all the chances in the world to Arif Yao, to really get his place and show what he does, because I think he's on the verge either of making the team or going back on loan again. So
Mm.
what do we think, seeing all these changes all game, but Kerry Fayao standing still in the center of that defense
If
every game?
definitely feels kind of significant for sure. Maybe he's priming him for an intra MLS loan. Like now I've put that out because I did briefly Google it, and yes, assuming Karifa Yao entered the academy before the age of 15, I truly don't know that. Then he would not count as an international player for any team in MLS. So we good. Provided he entered the academy before age 15. But anyway, I digress. No, I think it's got to be a sign for sure, like that he gets 90 minutes right out the gate compared to the rest of the squad. 100%. I'm reading a lot into it, and I've committed to my reading.
It's okay, and you know what? That's what I think that's what our viewers want to see, right? We getting committed to some crazy ideas, right?
Some hot takes
and hot takes, exactly.
4-point.
You know what? For me, when I look at Kerry Fayao and the amount of time he's getting right now, Wilfried Nancy is really testing him. He's telling him, you know what? I want to see what you're able to do. Can you convince me in those 3-4 games that you deserve a spot in our roster building? Can I make sure to trade, to sell one of the players that we have at center back to make a place for you? And that's what he's trying to do now. Or he's trying to show him so that another club sees his potential and ask for him on a loan. Because
I only want it to be a loan. I want him to be a CF Montreal player. So I
hope so too. It would be stupid if they sell him.
Yeah, but we've lived that before.
Yeah, but it would be very stupid. And I
think
they learned. Yeah, I think they learned about it. Like, I'm pretty sure they learned from it.
Again, we won't forget.
No, we won't. You really
that game against Miami. Unfortunately, there weren't a lot of images. With all the decisions that Miami didn't want to name some of the players that were on the pitch at some point. There was some things.
Must have been like a trialist or something.
I don't know. It's a bit weird, but no, we had like brief highlights, I think, out of Catherine Paquette's telephone when she's with the team over there. So, but we did see Ivy Brisma and Jojea Quizer, our two draftees, combined for a goal. That was cool. A very generous Miami goalie.
I was like, oh my gosh, and like the highlights that we got to see, he looked really bad on all of them. I feel so bad. I hope that's not their starting. Well, no, I guess I do.
No, it's
their starting keeper.
No, it's not.
He won't be if it was the plan anyway.
Okay. So. I'd send him to MLS too.
Ivy Brisma, I think I read that Wilfried Nancy starts to like what he's seeing. He's not sure if he's going to make the team, but he's definitely making a point for himself. And like we were saying, a lot of names up front, but maybe a bit of shortage of talent. So if we can have a player that's riding high in confidence and doing well in preseason come in, why not?
Well, yeah.
You know what? He was very evasive when I asked him the question at the presser after the post-game presser. I was like, okay, you have just a few spots left in your roster. Like, are they winning points, both of your draftees? Scoring 2 goals for Brisma and Quizera giving an assist. And his answer was like, I look at everything. Like, it wasn't, yes, they're winning points. He's like, no, I look at everything as a whole. Like, are they good? They're getting integrated within the team. Are do they have the right mentality? Yes, of course. The talents on the pitch. And he kind of hinted, like, indirectly, he kind of hinted that the 2 goals, and he's like, and he said it. He said, we profited from the errors of the teams. of the opposing team. So, and he's like, there are things that I liked about CF Montreal during that game, and other things that I didn't like. And he pointed out about the on the goal that was conceded by CF Montreal. He's like, I'm happy we conceded that goal because we're going to be able to train and to view videos about it and get better. So he wasn't very happy that they conceded that goal. So all of that to say that Crisera and Brisma, yes, they did, bring, score goals and connect and everything. But yeah, the goalkeeper was horrible, man.
Oh my God.
On both goals, horrible.
Yeah.
But I think everything that happens in preseason has to be taken with a big grain of salt.
Of
but
course.
That's why I think Wilfried Nancy doesn't want to get doesn't want to commit too much on anything. Just say, listen, we're pacing through the preseason slowly, seeing what our team is about. He's learning a lot about some new players, some that he had but didn't see much of. So, I mean, it's okay. And I even read some people say, we're unbeaten in the preseason. Yeah, sure, but it doesn't mean anything.
Actually,
and it's
no,
yeah, we drew one and we won one.
I think Montreal tends to do better when they get lambasted in the preseason.
Pessimistic.
Well, we always lose.
No. I mean, in the regular season, they do better.
They won too many games, so they're not going to be good.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So yeah, that's about. Anything else to add on Montreal, guys?
No.
I just want to add that I just can't wait to see CF Montreal game. We're talking about we're talking about those preseason games and we haven't seen them. Now it's kind of normal. I don't want to get into the whole debate that why are they not televised and everything. Yeah. There's a lot of teams in Europe that don't really televise their
MLS
games.
In general is cracked right down on it.
But even in Europe it does happen. It's not only in MLS. That's what I'm saying. Now there are a lot of teams that don't get their preseason games broadcasted. So you know what? It doesn't really matter to me, but in order for me and for us to analyze and to really give an opinion, we have to be able to watch the games.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So, we're just guessing
hard.
A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard.
Yeah.
So, guys, we move on back to international-ish news. CONCACAF Player of the Year nominees are out. And are you surprised, guys, that you don't have a nation more represented than Canada? On the men's side, we have... Yeah, okay. So, on the men's side, Michael Antonio from Jamaica, Jonathan David from Canada, Alfonso Davies from Canada, Irving Lozano from Mexico, Weston McKinney from the United States, and Christian Pulisic from the United States. On the women's side, we have Crystal Dunn, USA, Jessie Fleming, Canada, Lindsay Horan, USA, Stephanie Labey, Canada, Stephanie Mayor, Mexico, and Christine Sinclair, Canada. So we are the nation that has the most nominees. Pretty cool, guys.
And honestly, I'm kind of a little bit offended that Kyle Laren's not on the list.
Man, I'm pissed. I'm really pissed. What the hell? Guys, are you awake? What are you smoking? It's not normal that Kyle Laren is not here.
Okay, but
I'll be the devil's advocate. Who do you take off this list?
Yeah, so that's gonna be my question.
Sorry, but I'm really sorry. What did Irving Lozano do this year? He's a pretty good, an amazing
good player.
He's an amazing player, one of the best. But it's CONCACAF Player of the Year, not CONCACAF Best in Ability player.
Did Napoli win the Coppa Italia last year? Or did
they
win any?
What
no,
I
don't know. I don't know.
She's trying.
I'm guessing. I'm trying to.
I'm
trying to guess.
I'm really sorry. It's again, Lozano is an amazing player, and maybe one of the best in CONCACAF. When one of the best, not the best, but one of the best. But come on, man, he got the treble in Turkey. Kyle Laren, he's the best goal scorer in the qualifiers. He's the best goal scorer in Canadian soccer history. What do you want more? For me, he should win not only be nominated, he should win the title. It's
And
as easy as that.
Just for reference, Napoli did not win last year. I just double checked. Just for casual reference, they did not win any national or European titles last year.
Sorry, I'm very passionate about this because I just can't believe it. I just can't.
Oh, wow.
I can't.
Yeah, listen, I think these things have always been a bit of a popularity contest, a bit, that's, but
I mean, it's a fan vote.
Yeah,
But
I think the list is pretty legit on the men's side. It's debatable. It's debatable that Larin should be there. Well,
Larin, man.
I mean, go tell a Mexican fan that Irving Lozano shouldn't be there.
I don't care about the Mexican fan. I'm looking at this in a
but CONCACAF cares about the Mexican fan.
Oh, yes,
it's a very objective. I'm looking at it very objectively, and I'm not joking. I'm really. It's not because I'm Canadian. It's not because I'm Canadian, but I'm not gonna dwell on it. Like I said, my people.
No. It's all good. But
and you know what?
I can definitely see why Michael Antonio is on there, where the two Canadians are on there, where the two Americans are on there. So
actually, like, what did Michael Antonio do? I mean, he's with
fantastic year for West Ham. Fantastic.
No, but he didn't help his team win any titles. Yes, I definitely agree. He is in a late form of his life. Like, he just started getting called up. He must have just been that he just started accepting call-ups. I can only assume.
Well, there was something with the dual citizenship too, with some Jamaican players.
Oh, you're
England.
right. You're right.
That's
okay. Yeah,
okay,
right there.
Guys, again, I want to Eve is completely right in what she said. She's completely right. We're voting, and we're about to vote for the CONCACAF Player of the Year. The CONCACAF Player of the Year. Michael Antonio has 4 caps with Jamaica. 4.
I think you consider club play.
Yeah,
you consider both. You consider both.
Oh no, yeah, you definitely consider both.
Let's compare Michael Antonio with Kyle Larin. Compare them. Go ahead. Club and country. Go ahead.
But the leagues are different as well.
I don't care.
The level of the leagues is different in Turkey, and I give all respect. And I can see
it's a good league. It's a very good league.
A treble,
but it's not the Premier League.
Not one title. The 3 titles in Turkey.
Yeah.
3.
I will say,
more, man.
West Ham does not invest very much in its squad. So the fact that Michael Antonio is part of a squad that is in the top 4 or top 5, they might have fallen in the top 5. I haven't checked lately. Of the EPL is basically a miracle in and of itself.
Guys, I'm hosting a pod with 2 EPL snubs.
Yes.
So this is why we should. This is why this is happening. This shouldn't be a discussion.
No.
Discussion.
No, I agree.
Kyle Larin should be here before Michael Antonio and before Irving Lozano. Point. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Okay. So if we move on to the women's side, guys, any surprise on this list?
Actually,
can you show the list again?
Give me one sec. Hold on. I will bring up the list if you are patient.
So Crystal Dunn, Jessie Fleming, Lindsay Horan, Steph Labbe, Stephanie Mayor, and Christine Sinclair.
Man, I wonder when the cutoff was, because Deanne Rose has been on fire for Reading. But I'm I feel bad for Ashley Lawrence because she has had an epic 2021 with club and country. So I kind of feel bad for Ashley Lawrence, but then I can't take it away from because we can't have all Canadian players nominated. That would be horrible. And CONCACAF and the rest of CONCACAF would come for Canada's head. Jessie Fleming's been phenomenal for Chelsea, obviously. Yes. Christine Sinclair has won multiple trophies with Portland and, of course, with Canada. And then Steph Labbe was obviously iconic. So I kind of feel like Ashley Lawrence got shafted a little bit.
What I just can't understand, again, not because I'm Canadian and anything, just I'm going to prove you why I'm not looking at this as being Canadian. I'm just looking at the best players in the CONCACAF region, players of the year. And I still don't understand why Christian Endler is not here for Stephanie Mayor.
Oh, good. No,
Like,
because it's CONCACAF. Christian Endler,
oh
what
yeah,
nation
true.
is she
She's in
from?
Chile. Yeah, so you're right. You're right. She's in Chile. You're completely right. I
Okay.
didn't say anything. Oh man, the bloopers I'm doing in the last couple of episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Hady, you're
Hady,
more than welcome, man.
it's all
We
good.
can't cut it out now that we're live, so that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
the
can't
best.
edit, right? Yeah, no, but you know what? No, I like the list. When you look at it from that point of view, I like it. I just hope the Canadian player is going to get it because
Yeah.
I think it's time for a Canadian player to get recognized internationally, and it hasn't been the case in a few recent in the last few months. So let's hope we see either Christine Sinclair or Jessie Fleming or someone.
Jessie Fleming, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
Team
hope so.
Chan and Seb went with their choices, guys. If you can put them on the screen, maybe. Yeah, Jessie Fleming, best CONCACAF female player, fantastic player. Fantastic.
And then
Really.
Sébastien said,
I would go for Steph Labbe, but I understand your choice in response to Chan.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Steph
I'd
Labbe
like
had the
to
most
see.
iconic year for sure.
Oh yeah. But Jessie Fleming really took a step up as the leader of that team, and obviously the Olympic gold medalist. So I think all eyes should be on her for that
For the long term.
And Christine Sinclair won so many trophies this year.
She's
too,
Christine Sinclair is just like, she's like the Atiba Hutchinson. She's immortal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she won everything. So what can I don't know. So many good players.
We'll see. And that brings us to our next point. It's the Canadian women national team, because Bev Priestman is set to drop her list on Monday for the first edition of the Arnold Clark Cup
which
in England.
Will be televised.
Which will be televised. And so if people are wondering what the Arnold Clark Cup is, I had to search it. I didn't know what it is at all. It's pretty much the equivalent-ish of the She Believes Cup. It's in England. 4 teams invited by the English FA. England, Canada, Germany, and Spain, all top 10 world in the world standings team. And they're going to play a game against each one of them, with a final standing. Games in Middlesbrough at the Riverside Stadium, in Norwich at Carrow Road, and Eve games at the Molyneux in Wolverhampton. How are you gonna feel to watch your beloved Canada team?
Oh my gosh! Okay, has it been announced if they're playing there?
Yes, we're playing against Germany.
Oh my god!
Germany.
No,
at the Molyneux.
I don't care. Either one. I don't care. Oh, my heart is so warm. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hope there's lots of people there. Oh, and if they want to cheer for Canada, because we kind of belong to England in some weird way. So I'm so jealous. I'm gonna have to take time off work to watch that.
They're gonna be on TSN the games, so it's amazing. We'll be able to see them.
It's nice you're talking about the broadcasting rights. They're all going to be televised on ITV in UK, TSN here in Canada, CBS in the US, ESPN in South America, and among others. Right, it's televised in a lot of countries, and that's really nice. Don't forget that it's the inaugural year for this tournament.
Yeah.
So it's the first time this tournament is hosted, and it has been created, right? So it's really nice. Some strong teams. I've heard so many times haters say that Canada doesn't play against strong teams. You know what, guys? It's happening. They are playing.
They played
at the She Believes Cup last year and got smoked.
Yeah, I know. I understand. But all I'm saying is usually they do play against, weaker teams to get into competition in the CONCACAF region, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was usually what people used to say, what haters used to say. You know what? Bev Priestman is taking that team to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And by joining the Arnold Clark Cup, it shows that Bev Priestman wants to prepare that team for the next chapter. And I can't wait. I have so many points on the next chapter, but I'm going to let you guys talk first. So go ahead.
No.
I mean, I was wondering if you had an idea on what the list could look like, is if there was gonna be any surprises, any regulars that would maybe be out, like the Sinclairs, the Labbés,
Well,
the
yeah, because we're in between seasons right now
yeah.
for
So
end of.
what will the list look like, guys, in your opinion?
If you want to start,
I'd expect it to lean more on European-based players because NWSL is not yet in season. So kind of similar to, how we saw with the men's side in the recent call-up window. So some of the players playing in NWSL might not get the call as well. I'd expect, certainly I'd expect our pretty much the entire European Olympic gold medal squad to get the call. As far as like say the 11 who started that match, I'd expect all of them to get the call. I'd expect Vanessa Gili, even though she's not playing because of course she's just moved over to NWSL to the new expansion side. I would still expect her to get the call. But I would expect it more to lean on the European-based players.
I'm sorry if I'm going completely on the opposite side of
Go ahead. You're allowed.
It's a friendly tournament. Okay, winning for me is not important. What's important is preparing the national team to the next cycle, preparing the national team for the 2023 World Cup. And you need to build your roster. You need to start from now. We remember John Herdman. He started building his roster in 2018.
So
now Beth Friesman doesn't have that much time in order to build her roster. But it's time to turn the page. It's time for Canada to turn the page, to go into something new, the new Canadian national team, the new Canadian women's national team, and with new players, up-and-coming players. First of all, Stephanie Labbé retiring at the end of the year. We already had some celebration games for the Olympic medalists.
That was like a real sad celebration for you.
Sorry?
Wait, is that it for celebrations?
Yeah, that's it. That was it.
The 2 games against New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly.
No!
Yeah, it was. So for me, this closes one chapter and it opens a new one. Now we're looking ahead. We're looking for the 2023 World Cup. We need to build that roster. So for me, Stephanie Labbé, thank you for everything that you did. Thank you for being so great. You decided to retire at the end of the year. Unfortunately, Beth Friesman will not have 20 million chances to build her team. So it's time to make place for Kayleen Sheridan that should take the number 1 spot. The back line, looking at the center backs, Beth Friesman is going to have to take a decision. Are we going to see who are we going to see? Are we going to go with a back 4 with either Buchanan, Gilles, and Sadorski, all 3 of them being so good, or are we going to go with a back 3 because those 3 are so good, and Jade Rose, who's an up-and-coming player, getting so good, and he's going to be an amazing player in the future. So you have a decision to take here. If you had something to add, I have a lot of points. So go ahead.
No. To begin with, I have not yet recovered from the fact that I learned that the 2-game celebration was it. So I've not yet recovered from that. But how many players? Do you know how many players she's allowed to call? Like what the squad size is?
No, I don't think we're gonna know tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna know tomorrow. So we're not sure about that. Chan, he said they will have more celebration tour in the West Coast. There was supposed to be a game in BC. It's not. Unfortunately, it was canceled due to COVID. Now I'm not sure. It wasn't yet announced that there will be other games. Beth Friesman said that maybe there will, and they'll make sure to have some games there. We don't know when it's going to be. And is it going to be a celebration, or is it going to be, for the preparation for 2023?
We're not sure yet. So kids looked so good.
Yeah. So I just want to.
I'm so sorry. You go back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right back.
No, because I did have the question on the squad size. So, but we don't know.
For me, I would go with the back 3. Because we do have some wing backs that are very, very, very strong on both ends of the pitch. So we have Ashley Lawrence as being a wing back, a
Mm-hmm.
right wing back, that's been one of the best in the world, of course. And we have Jade Rivera, that's again a very good player, a very good rotation player that has shown that she can be very good also on that for the Canadian national team. On the left hand side, of course, we have our own Gabrielle Carl that's taking, I think, this position. And I think it's time. I love Alicia Chapman. Everybody knows how much I love her, but it's time for her to make place for Bianca Saint Georges, that had an amazing year before getting injured last year in the NWSL. She was really good as a left back, very offensive, very, very good. It's time to build for 2023. You go into the middle of the pitch. Do we continue with Desiree Scott and Sophie Schmidt? Is it time to really turn a page?
So I can still see Desiree Scott for sure having a role. But
both of them?
No, not both of them. And I would lean more toward Desiree Scott having a role than Sophie Schmidt. Exactly. And I feel like we had this conversation.
Yeah, but we didn't turn the page yet. So I think it's time now to finally turn the page. And that's the whole theme about what I'm trying to say. So you have Grosso signing in Juventus.
Quinn should have a shot too at that central midfield position, right?
You have Quinn.
Quinn is more of like a CDM, like a central defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Like Schmidt was playing as a CDM also. So
yeah. So, no, but that spot is Quinn's to lose beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Quinn is gonna be in the squad. They're gonna be in the squad for sure.
Yeah. So
Quinn will be there. Now you're gonna have to make place for Grosso that signed with Juventus. That's a big signing for Grosso. The Serie A for women's is getting a lot of attention, getting very, very good. So Grosso should have a place. You have Quinn that they should be a starter in that team.
Yep.
So we'll see. And then
Jessie Fleming, obviously. Oh yeah.
Jessie Fleming is a bit
goes without saying.
Further up. Yeah, further up.
Deanne Rose on fire for Reading. So Deanne Rose definitely has a spot.
You know what, Eve? Thank you for the transition. And I'm talking about the attackers. I know it's going to hurt.
No.
Should we turn the page, Christine Sinclair? I'm going to just I'm asking the question, okay? I have some positives. I want to keep her, but I also don't want to keep her. I'm just on the fence, okay? I'm going to tell you why. You have Janine Becky. You have Adriana Leon. You have Jordan Huitema. You have Evelyn Vian. You have Michelle Prince. You have Deanne Rose. All those players need places. And don't forget that you have also Chloé Lacasse. You have Marie Levasseur that are waiting also to be called up. You have so many good players on the attacking front. Do we still have the place for a Christine Sinclair that's really slowing down? We have to say it. Or do we go and we take that veteran side of things and go with one or two very older player like Scott? You said Scott a bit earlier, Eve, and Cincy, and continue with them until they get retired. What do you think, Eve? And Sam, if you want to jump in, feel free.
Yeah, I feel like the service that the veteran players who are with Canada, like Christine Sinclair, and I would also include certainly Desiree Scott in this conversation as well, for the amount of service that they've given to Canada, for the amount that they've shown up for their country over and over and over again throughout the years. I think they deserve an invite, but if they turn it down for reasons that they want to work on their fitness at the club level, or they would rather like prioritize, it's just not the right time for them. If I were Beth Priestman, I would not hold out against them at all. I would offer them still a chance to participate, because I know that they are so thrilled to have won such a big trophy for Canada.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Sam, do you have any?
It's a friendly competition, right? So I think that's the moment where your younger players that are pushing for a spot in the club and the team can really make their mark. So I think, I don't say not, if Christine Sinclair isn't ready to retire internationally, and if, let's say Sophie Schmidt isn't ready, I don't think you should ask them to retire. You just can skip them for this particular tournament and give some playing time to the youth. And they're still very good players. Sinclair can't play. I'm not sure she can play 90 minutes like at that level anymore. Or she's fading quickly during games because of all the mileage she put on her body since the start of her career. But still a very good player. But I think a friendly tournament you have to give some place to the youngers. And see what they can bring because they're waiting, and they can't wait
Mhm.
forever. At some point, you need to see what
Yeah,
they're up to.
a player like Chloe Lacasse is now 28.
Yep.
you
She
know,
needs to play at some point, eh?
yeah, Evelyn Vian is what 24. Heitema is 20. Like, it's their time. It
Mhm.
is their time. I don't know, Eve. You want to add to something, or are you good?
No, I agree. Like for me, just because they've been so instrumental in so much of Canada's success, say over the past decade or so, I don't want to disrespect the players by almost, by saying, okay, it's their time because they've given so much and they have honestly, the Christine Sinclairs, the Desiree Scotts, the Sophie Schmidts, they were the only reason I had any remote iota of interest in Canada soccer for long stretches of time. Because, of course, we only had what I called the one competent team. So for them, I want them to make sure that they are able to end their Canada careers on their terms because they've given so much to the team.
Yeah, I mean, if Kristen Sinclair is like 3 games away from retiring, of course you have to bring her and make sure that she plays and she decides when she plays her last minutes for Canada. But if these players are planning on playing another year, maybe, or other competitions, I don't think you absolutely need them right at that cup in England. But I mean, it's really
Mhm.
debatable, and it's not a one size fits all. Everyone has their own situation, and I think Bev Priestman has to sit down with each one of these players and ask them, where are you at in your career, what's your plan, and will it be okay if we skip your selection for this tournament?
Mhm.
But you're still in the program, you're still in the plan. I just need to see the youngsters play.
Mhm.
So, but like you say, if Kirsten Sinclair plans to retire internationally in a few months, you have to bring her for sure. But uh, I don't know. It's like you say, there's a lot of, you have to respect, but you have to sometimes be a bit assertive and say, listen,
Mhm.
I'm looking for the future. And
Yeah.
it's a difficult situation for Beth Priestman, but I think she has the respect of her team
Mhm.
enough that a simple conversation in the office should be enough to remove any problem if there is gonna be some.
Yep.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious about what are going to be the choices of
Uh,
Bev Priestman. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing either way. I think she has to take a decision, and whatever the decision, I think it's very hard. It's very hard to
mhm.
take that
I do
decision.
not envy her.
I do
No.
not envy her either. I'm a podcaster, right? So like, it's very easy for me. Let's turn the page. I don't know Christine St. Clair personally, right? So like, it's easy to say it, but when you know her personally, when you see what she's done, it's very hard to come and say, you know what, I'm not going to call you up next time. So
Exactly.
it's a very difficult discussion that you're going to have with her now. I don't know. Again, very interesting, very, very interesting. I think it's time that we start preparing for 2023. We cannot have another bad showing like we did in 2019.
No.
We cannot. We cannot. We cannot. We cannot. At least we don't have Kenneth Heiner Muller anymore. So
Hmm.
let's hope the results will
Good
kick
start.
in.
Yeah.
That's a good start, yeah, for sure. So we'll be looking at it closely tomorrow. Is when I'm pretty sure it is tomorrow on Monday is
Yeah.
when Bev Priestman drops her
Yeah.
list. So like usual, Eve is one side, Addie's the other. I'm somewhere in between. So we'll see who's right. We're pretty
Exactly.
predictable. So guys, we're done for part one. Eve, I'll throw it to Addie. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to add something else for part one, if you guys don't mind.
Go
I
ahead.
want to congratulate all Senegalese friends, all my
Yes,
Senegalese
Oh,
of
friends
yes,
for winning the
yes.
course.
AFCON,
African
for
Cup.
winning
Yes.
the African Cup. I'm very happy for Senegal and for that win, that historic win for Sadio Mane and all the players, of course. But I'm a bit sad for Mohamed Salah
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah,
still
My
hasn't
mom
won the
is sad.
AFCON. I'm very, very, very sad because he's one of the greatest players in
Yeah.
Africa. And you know what? Somewhere I am an Arab, so
yeah,
again,
yeah.
an Arab team, an Arab player as good as Mohamed Salah. I hope that he wins it one day. Twice now, losing in the final. But congrats to all Senegalese, to
Yes.
all the Senegalese across the world. I tweeted some pictures, some videos of Senegalese people celebrating
Yeah, on
on Côte
Queen
d'Ivoire
Mary.
near
Eh?
my house.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
it was like my wife was like laughing and looking at this, like the celebrations were really, really nice.
Nah,
It's
that's
so
cool,
nice to
man.
see joy again after those two
Hmm.
COVID years where we struggled
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
congrats for
Yeah,
Senegal.
word, true. I
Yes.
went on vacations to Senegal and I had some great soccer conversations. They're so passionate about their national team.
Of course.
Great country, great people over there, and so I'm really happy for them. I always root for Senegal since I've been there, so I was really happy to see them win. Yeah, so happy for them.
No, I agree. No, and I mean, like, oh, it was a hard choice for that final, Senegal versus Egypt. Like, how could you?
Oh yeah.
But nonetheless, no, big congrats to Senegal for sure.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah. So Eve, there you go.
moving on.
Social media.
Alrighty, it's my time. Okay, so I picked some tweets of the week. I'm not gonna lie, I went with my mood for these tweets. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Oh
Let's see which mood
wow!
you
I
were
just
on.
hope that your mood is it all about alcohol
Okay.
or
No, for once. Okay, so first off, like business first. We have a question from CF Rousseau, who said, "Would like to hear your take on the possible starting 11 for CF Montreal next week in
GF is all of
Mexico."
us. He can't just wait
Oh,
to
I
see a
know.
game.
I feel you, GF. Yes. So, thoughts on a possible starting 11 for
Yeah, sure.
CF Montreal?
Who starts?
JF, can I ask you one favor? Can you wait until next week until we talk about this? Like,
No, let's go. Let's play
Let's
the
flip.
game. You
next
ask it.
week
No.
episode.
No. Let's come on. Hot takes, guys.
Go ahead, Eve. For once, you're gonna be the one that's gonna take a hot take.
All right.
First.
So I'll do it. Okay. James Pantemis, Kamal Miller, not Rudy Camacho.
No, he's not available.
I guess Joel Waterman if he's fit, because he's not been fit. So Joel Waterman if he's fit.
We don't know about the fitness level of players, so let's not.
No. But he's not been training with the group. Yeah. So and there was something with his quad. Yeah. So and Alistair Johnston as a back three. I think we're sticking with a back three myself. Followed by Mathieu Chouanière on the left, Victor Wanyama and Ahmed Hamdi in the middle, Zachary Broguiard on the right, because he's going to be all fired up after joining Canada. So he will obviously be full of confidence. And then, of course, Georgi Mihailovic in the 10-ish spot. How many players do I have left? Two? Okay. Ramel Kyoto, because he apparently did not have hypothermia. He came out and refuted that after the USA match. And probably Joaquin Torres. Not sure why, but probably him. So basically a throwback to 2021.
Yeah, I have the same lineup as you, but I have Piet in for Hamdi, and the reason is just Piet has
an
played
away
a bit
game.
this off season. He knows all about CONCACAF. He'll help Wanyama maybe in the middle to weather the storm in Mexico. It's gonna be tough. Good team, Santos Laguna, even though they have it's not their best season, but still it's a big test. So I see Piet in.
I know, like
Hamdi,
it's a little bit iffy on what his injury status is as well, right? Because he did pick that up and he was considered kind of day-to-day with Canada, and there'd be a little bit more evaluation.
Though,
Yeah, he was on the bench. Yeah, so it's kind of like there'd be a little bit more evaluation once he got back with Montreal, if needed.
Yeah, but there's always surprises. I was in Saprissa when we played the first game in 2019, and I remember Yuka Raitala coming out of the tunnel with the captain's armband, Amar Sejdic starting, Jorge Corrales starting. You never know when, because off season is really, that there's a lot of things that happen that we're not sure of. But I mean, there's a lot of players that are locks in this team, so I don't think we'll have that much of surprises.
Hady?
I would change. Like I follow Sam in his thinking with Samuel Piet next to Victor Wanyama. Don't forget that also Piet started the preseason earlier than the others because all the players that were called up by Canada started the preseason earlier, so that he's going to be a bit maybe fitter, even if he had that injury. The only thing is that I'm not sure about Torres. On this,
I'm not sure, but like, who else would you start?
Sunusi.
Okay,
maybe.
I would say Sunusi next to Kyoto.
Okay. Yeah. I've always, and like, I know this year is a new year, but I thought Sunusi was always so much more effective off the bench.
I agree. But you're playing away, you're going to need some sort of speed. Like, Pake's playing behind the defender.
That's interesting, Hady, man. Very interesting.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Sunusi would be a right fit in that starting 11, but I agree with all your other choices. Maybe Wilfried Nassir is going to surprise us and play with a back four. He said that he will do this this year. He will change tactical approaches during the year. We don't know, but if we stick to our usual formation, I would go with Sunusi up front.
Okay. Makes sense, I could be talked into it for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm moving right along.
Yeah.
We have a tweet from Kareem. Okay, so do you guys, I don't know if this is a big thing in Quebec, but do you guys recall these things on TV called the Heritage Minutes?
Yes.
So for me, actually, this is part of a drinking game that I would play with my friends. The Heritage Minutes. And we would go around the table. And just for reference, for those of you who are listening, what we're looking at here on the screen is the Heritage Minute, like with the scenic background, and there's usually a loon making a call, I'm pretty sure, that you'd see on TV where it's some weird moment in Canadian history, except the moment in Canadian history epitomized here by Kareem is Atiba's very special goal. But no, this was a drinking game I used to play with all of my friends, actually. And so we would go around the table, and, there was like the one from the Halifax explosion. There was the one like with the weird punishments in prisons that made me cry when I was a little kid. And so on. And you'd have to name like a line from it so that you'd be like, and now they will know we were here. Or like, acknowledge. And anyway, the gist is when somebody finally couldn't think of a heritage moment, then you would have to drink. So
nice.
That's But anyway, do you guys think that the Atiba special goal in El Salvador is a part of our Canadian heritage?
Yes.
Is it iconic enough?
Man, it's really iconic. Just like the goal, the own goal from the Haitian goalkeeper.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Sorry for all my
Haitian
friends,
but
guy. Like it is part of the heritage. Minutes.
Oh, what a sin! I think we want to try and forget that.
Yeah.
He wants for him. I want to forget that.
Yeah. True,
poor guy. Wow.
Yeah, but I love the tweet. Really nice. Really, really nice. Continue with that.
Alrighty, and again, I do kind of have like another. I guess you call it a meme. So it's Can M&T memes, and it's a picture of Alphonso Davies losing his freaking mind on Twitch, and it says "me" after a 9-point window.
Yeah, I think we're all like that.
Yeah, I actually I watched Alphonso Davies live stream with his dad on Twitch. It's like I muted my stream on the TV, and then I watched that. And it was really funny because he had actually said something about Sam Adekugbe never having scored a goal in the match where Sam Adekugbe scored his goal. And of course, then Alfonso was like going. I was like, Alfonso, calm down. But yeah,
How cool is
anyway.
that he's recording himself on Twitch? It's really cool, man.
He was like watching
And
with his
people,
dad.
yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah, no, but it was a very good feeling, very relatable. It was
Yeah,
good
we were all
to
like Alfonso Davies, man.
yeah, I guarantee you my entire block in Montreal knew the score. All right. Next up, we have Yves Laurent, who tweeted regarding Ivy Brisma scoring his second goal in the preseason match over Inter Miami. He said the kid is on fire, to translate it into English. So I know we talked a lot about this. Are we encouraging Yves to manage his expectations?
No, I mean it's okay. I know with Renas he kind of managed his expectations, but Ivy Brisma took these opportunities. He took these shots, and
True,
I
I agree.
remember there's a coach when I was playing younger. He said that he always said that shit goals count, and because sometimes you were trying to make like too fancy of plays, or not. Oh, there's a chance to shoot, but I'll pass to get a better position. Shit goals count. So 3 points at the end of the day. I know it's preseason, but in a season match, it's 3 points.
Points
So
are points.
yeah, you need these players. So no, it's okay, man.
Alrighty. And last but not least, we have Can MNT Armada. And this is in relation to the CONCACAF players of the year being nominated, the list dropping. So he said, or they say, if we are being honest and unbiased here, a Canadian player wins both the men's and female awards. Really not that close. Fleming or LeBay on the women's side and David on the men's. So Canada-MNT Armada has already called it for Canada, and Canada-MNT Armada has called it at least David on the men's side. Agree? Disagree? Do you think Canada-MNT Armada is like, high on Canada right now, or it's gotta go?
I can see it happening, right?
Is it? I'm not. Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. Is it not even close? I don't really agree. I think it's always close because it has to be.
When there's a fan vote aspect to it, I mean, Canada has a way smaller population than, for example, the USA. Yeah. So then I'm like, oh gosh, we don't even stand a chance just by sheer numbers.
Yeah.
But and don't forget that Chelsea with Pulisic won the Champions League. So
they did, which is it's a thing.
It is a big thing. So that's why I'm looking at for me it's important to look at the trophies, and we talked about it a bit earlier with Kyle Larin. It's the same. I continue with the same point of view. For me, Pulisic is one of the favorites. But yeah, David could be. I'll be the happiest kid on earth now with David winning the CONCACAF Player of the Year. With me able to ask him a question in the presser, I was like really a kid last time.
Oh, yeah,
I was very, very happy. So yeah, I hope so. I hope that David wins it. And for Labbé or Fleming, yeah, I kind of agree with him. I think it's not even close. It has to be one of those two.
We'll see. Alrighty, and those are my tweets for the week, which I guess means it's on to part 2 of part 2, which is also somehow being run by me today.
We threw everything to you.
You're everywhere. You're everywhere.
I know. I'm just holding down the fort. You know we're in dire straits.
I want to introduce that segment if you don't mind.
You go to town.
Small thing prepared for you guys. So
let's
introduce that segment.
When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you.
That's amazing, man.
So it is, as you guys have noticed, the usual introduction for the segment "Who Said That?" that Eve prepared for us, with a small, of course, twist with an image of Eric Cantona, who said that amazing, amazing thing at the press conference after a United game.
Very unique. Something else. Alrighty. Okay, you guys ready? I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna read you a quote from. I'll tell you if it's a player, a manager, or other. And I've got 3 for you, and I'll give you 3 possible choices of who it could be. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty. So my first one here is. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. When I die, and this is coming from a manager, but I'll give you the choice of the 3 managers after. When I die, I'm going to ask God where the referees are before I choose between heaven and hell.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
So the 3 managers I will offer up to you are Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, and Antonio Conte.
Oh, really? One of these 3 said that?
Who starts?
I don't know which one of you is feeling lucky.
I am.
Okay.
Alex Ferguson. I don't know why.
I say Antonio Conte.
You're both wrong.
No way. It's
It's
Arsene
Wenger who
Wenger.
said that.
Nice.
Arsene Wenger, according to the internet.
I love him.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
it goes against his kind of classy demeanor that he always tries to have, and he must have been really frustrated on that day.
I think it was in his like post coaching life. I think it was in his post coaching life that he had said it. So maybe, you know, he was letting a little more loose.
Wow. He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. So this one here, this quote is from 2019, but it's reflecting back on a previous match, and I'll give you the context. This quote is from a player. It's a little bit long, just so I can set the tone for you. So it's a little bit long, so just bear with me, okay? I was at Juve and we played against Inter. Materazzi entered a challenge like an assassin and hurt me. He was a tough football player. That's fair enough. There's 2 ways to be tough. One of them is aiming to hurt you. Even Maldini was tough, but with a different objective. In the first game, in the 2010-11 derby, they were all against me. Okay, this motivates me. But if you don't have any control, it's not good. You'll lose your head and do something stupid. I got a penalty, and who fouled me? Materazzi. Again. 1-0 to Milan. In the second half, Matrix, Materazzi, is coming at me, and I hit him with a taekwondo move. I sent him to the hospital. Stankovic asked me, why did you do that? And I replied to him, I have been waiting for this moment for 4 years. That's why. So, are you okay?
My turn? Yeah,
Oh,
go. Do you need to give the choices?
Do you? Yeah, I will tell you. I will tell you the possible choices.
Dude, no, you don't need to.
You don't need to.
choices, man.
Okay.
There's only one player that
know who
does
said that. I know
taekwondo,
who
man.
said
There's only
Okay.
one player that does
Well, then
taekwondo.
both of you go at the same time. Then.
Yeah,
Who said it?
Zlatan. Seb is right.
Seb is right. It's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It's not possible.
Yeah.
It could be anybody else. Anybody else.
He's a black belt in taekwondo. Zlatan,
Yeah, he
too.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why he's able to score those kick goals. Kick goals, like I call them.
Against Toronto when he was with LA. Amazing.
Yeah.
And against Toronto
Exactly.
even more. Who were your two other choices you had put in there?
I had put. Let me see here. I put.
Tell me you
Chiellini.
put Zidane. You put Zidane.
Zidane.
The
eh?
Materazzi. I don't even think he played. I don't even think he played for Juve, did he?
Zidane?
Yeah,
of course.
very early in his career.
Whoosh.
Very,
Yeah,
very
but
early
it was
in his
before
career.
Not very
2010.
early. He played for
But it was
3 or 4
before
years.
But it was before 2010.
No, but he was pretty young at that.
Because it had to be at the right time. Anyway.
No.
Anyway.
Anyways, he
And
played for you.
Won
I
the
know he
Champions
played.
League with
Yeah,
Juventus.
yeah.
He was one of their main players. It was the biggest transfer in history back then.
Yeah.
When he
What
went
year
from Girondin Bordeaux to
Because
Juventus.
of course he was like somebody very much came into my mind because of because the offending party was Materazzi.
Of course.
Yeah.
Alrighty, my
Nice.
fine. I know that's like kind of a famous one, but I think it's a freaking hoot that he waited 4 years to claim his revenge. Let me see. Alrighty. But to be fair, Zidane didn't play for Juventus during the right timeline, so it probably would have been like a giveaway.
Yeah.
Because he was retired by then. So final quote. Alrighty. Comes from a player. My wife doesn't like football. One day she called me 10 minutes before a game to find out where I was.
Okay, it's too hard. Like
I know this one. I know.
You know
I
this
who it
one?
is.
You know
Do
this
you want to
one?
wait for the choices, or are
Well,
you
no,
gonna...
we'll give you. Well, Hady, you'll go first, obviously. I will give you 3 choices:
Okay.
Roy Keane of Manchester United, Peter Crouch of many teams but Liverpool, and Harry Kane of Tottenham.
Sorry, it's very funny what Sean said. He
From
said that. I
Hady.
said that. It might be true, Chan. You're right. My wife doesn't like football, but she does go from time to time to Stade Saputo with me. So I have to
Okay,
give her
good.
that. Who said that? So you said Roy Keane, Peter Crouch, or Harry Kane?
Yeah.
Roy Keane.
No, it's Peter
Okay.
Crouch.
Yeah, it is.
Peter Crouch said
Okay,
that.
Peter Crouch is actually super funny
Man,
yeah,
in
he is.
interviews.
EPL snubs.
I tried to pick like a little bit of diversity here. I had my
Yeah.
French guy. I had Zlatan, who's been
Oh, you
everywhere.
did good, Evie. You did
Yeah,
good, man.
French guy
I
that
just won,
coached
that's
in
it.
EPL. Zlatan that played in
I just
Manchester
won, that's
United.
it, no, but yeah, he's a funny guy, Crouch. He's
He
really,
is. He has a lot
yeah,
of really funny
very
quotes out
hilarious.
there. He's
But this one is probably one of his best.
yeah, it is one of my favorites. But anyway, that does wrap it up for me for Who Said That for my little segment of this evening. So Sam, I guess you're gonna wrap us up.
Amazing,
Yeah, it was,
amazing. I just
it
want to
was-
say it was an amazing segment, Eve. Well done. Great
Yeah,
job.
good job. Yeah, it was great.
I am
Good job,
sorry
Eve.
for my EPL bias
It's
if it
okay.
shows through.
I got used to it.
Yeah, Eddie's used to it.
I don't know who any of the players are. No, I'm kidding. No, but anyway, I digress. Thank you guys.
It's a pleasure. Guys, it was one of our rare shows in which we didn't have any guests, all 3 of us. It was fun to keep it in the family, we could say, for today, but we'll have guests coming up on our next episodes for sure. Really soon we'll have some great guest lines up. So anyone who was wondering, they are coming. Thank you, Eve. Thank you, Hady. It was fun once again to talk soccer and everything Montreal and Canada this weekend. It was really cool. And to all our listeners, everyone who participated to our show, and all our listeners out there, everyone who talks to us during the week on Twitter, it's always cool. So until next time for another episode of The Ball Is On, have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.